So, right before we start the final climb to the halfway point of our journey, I wanted to talk about today why I started this journey from when we started last year to this point. So, to start this out, I have a picture of a man. This man right here behind me. This is Professor Calamitous. He's from a show. The show is Jimmy Neutron. The thing with Professor Calamitous, he's probably one of the smartest people in the Jimmy Neutron universe. What he is known for is he can never complete anything. He can never complete a meal. He can never complete any project that he set himself up to. And the reason why I brought him here today is because, well, last couple of years for me have been very tough. It's been 3 to 4 years since I was kind of in the same position that I find myself today. Way back then, I decided to do a change in my life, work on the things that I kind of wanted to always accomplish in life. Started working out a lot more, started eating healthy, started working on my game design stuff. I started streaming again. At that time, I was doing the Love with Game Jam. Even though I didn't get the results that I wanted, I was kind of proud of what we managed to pull out. But I was working on that. I was working with my online portfolio, my UX design certificate, bunch of stuff that I wanted to do in life. And one fateful Sunday afternoon, I looked back into myself and I was seeing all the things that I was accomplishing at the moment. And I realized that none of that stuff was making me happy. And I couldn't figure out why it wasn't making me happy. It messed me up. And it messed me up in a way where I came to the conclusion that if the things that I thought were going to make me happy are not making me happy, then why should I bother living? And that afternoon, I had planned to pretty much end it all. And I was planning. I didn't get to the point of harming myself, but I was pretty close to it. And if it wasn't because I started browsing on my computer one last time, and I saw a couple of my friends on Discord. They were playing one of the games that I hate the most, Overwatch 2. But my friends were playing in the moment, and in that moment, I was like, hey, this might be the last time I play with them. Might as well do it, you know? So, enter the call, play some Overwatch, and although I didn't really enjoy the game, I did have a lot of fun with my boys. And I remember finishing those games and leaving Discord and just realizing that, oh shit, maybe I do need help. And that's pretty much the beginning of my healing process. At that point, I decided I needed to get a therapist. I just need any kind of help. So I started going to therapy, started taking antidepressants. And it started the process of me learning more about myself, the things that I like, the things that I didn't like. And if there's something that I've always hated, and I still kind of do, is how I always felt like I'm Professor Calamitous. I set myself to do a lot of things, not just career-wise, but just personal things, personal goals. And I always leave them halfway done. And it's not because I'm lazy. If you know me personally, you know that I'm one of the hardest workers. But when it came to my personal life, I never worked hard for me. So during this journey, life didn't get any easier, but I kept working on myself slowly. And although I was making some kind of progress, I always felt like I was still Professor Calamitous, and I couldn't set myself to finish any of the goals or projects, anything that I set myself in life to actually finish. So around this time last year, my life wasn't getting any better. I picked up streaming again, and I was like, you know what? I think if I walk 500 miles, I think I can accomplish that on stream. At the time, it was more of I kind of want to do more streaming. I kind of want to be a little bit more fit. If I can combine these two, I can find a good excuse to stream and also be healthy at the same time. I think it was back in June 28th of last year is when we did the first walk. And I remember still how my first couple of walks were, oh, we're going to walk a mile today. We're going to walk 2 miles. Very slow progress. And it wasn't until a couple months ago I had a friend of mine tell me oh, you should probably do 3 miles per hour because that's a mile every 20 minutes. I was like, oh wait, that's actually a good idea. But I started this journey, and during the way I fumbled a bit. Although I was motivated to continue, there were days that life hit harder than normal, and I would just disappear from streaming. I think the first couple like miles, I pretty much left and I stopped streaming, and then I came back 2 weeks later, and then I'm gonna keep going, but I really wasn't completely motivated to keep walking. So, but I was still doing it. Around July, I remember I went to Puerto Rico to one of my best friend's wedding, and I stumbled upon another one of my closest friend, and he was in the best shape of his life. And I was just talking to him like, man, dude, that's crazy. Like, you're doing all these things, and I'm trying to get to that point. And he's like, dude, this is what you need to do. He gave me like an app to do like do workouts. He told me like, hey, this is what you need to eat, this is what you need to watch. And I was like, thanks, man. I'm gonna make you a promise that I'm gonna make a change, and hopefully by the end of my journey, I'm comfortable doing a 10K with you, you know? Because ever since that moment, I wanted to do a 10K. But anyway, came back from that trip and started working out. I was doing it every day, following this app, and I was like pretty much 2 weeks in doing it, and I fumbled once again. Stopped working out, which is crazy because I bought equipment to like work out. I bought like this mat so I can do my push-ups and my sit-ups and whatever I need to do on the floor, and I was completely demotivated again. And around this time was when I believe the Pirate Software Game Jam was happening. And that week when I was working on the Game Jam, I really pushed myself mentally. I was still streaming a lot, but it kind of messed me up because, again, I wasn't really happy with what I ended up producing at the end of the Game Jam. But I did go on another trip back to Puerto Rico because we were celebrating another of my closest friends' birthday. And I took like this last minute trip, and it was probably one of the best trips that I had in a long time. Had a lot of fun, even though it was just a very short trip to Puerto Rico. But again, I was spending time with my boys, and it was something that I needed. And I came back, I started walking again, but every couple months I would fumble again and I would disappear from stream. Remember, I came back, and then around October, I remember I was like, hey, October is here. I want to do some spooky games. I want to do something for Halloween. I want to do all these things. And around midway through October, I stopped streaming. We have only made 70 miles in our journey, and I didn't stream the rest of October, and I didn't stream at all in November. And I came back in December with a plan. And the plan was to, if I could stream at least 1 mile a day of me walking, I can get to 100 miles before the year ends. And I knew I could do it. But around this time, I was also hiking. I also, like, in my off time, I did the Manitou Incline, which is like 2,784 steps, I believe. I did that challenge, and for me, who is not fit at all, to complete it, it made me very happy that I could actually do it. I can't wait to do it again now that I'm more fit. But I was still hiking offline, not putting miles into the stream. And I remember I went on a hike and I developed what's called a bunion on my foot, and it hurts a lot, was bothering me a lot. And because of that, I couldn't really walk. And I was thinking to myself, I'll just walk through the pain just to get to that goal. But something deep inside me was telling me, just rest, take it easy, because you need to walk a lot more. So I figured I would just not walk. And we did, in December, we did do a whole week of streams, because I was like, man, because back when the Pirate Software Game Jam happened, that's when I finally got affiliate status, which is something that I always wanted to accomplish on stream, because that way I was like, oh, I can finally monetize my stream. I can make something back when it comes to like money. But I would still be unmotivated to like even stream even after hitting that goal. And when I came back in December, I was like, at least, hey, I know I have a couple subscribers. And I always felt bad because if you're gonna pay for something, you might as well get something in return, right? So I did a week straight of just streams. So I did those streams, but during that time in December, I was really mad at myself, not because like I was mad that I did a bunion, but I really wanted to like end the year in a big way. Because again, my life in the last couple of years hasn't really been so great. And I knew I could hit that goal, but just because of my foot, I couldn't, and it still bummed me out. So January came, and for my birthday, my older brother got me a subscription to the Lord of the Rings Conqueror Challenge. It was something that since I started the walk back in June of last year, my brother mentioned I would get ads. I'm like, I want to do it, but it's kind of expensive. Kind of I don't know if I'm gonna keep walking. I was still doubting myself. He got it for me for my birthday, and I was like, okay, now I gotta lock in because he's also in the process of doing it. I believe he's almost done with it. I'm a little behind because of a bunch of shit that happened, but we're still here. But I started that journey, and I believe again in January I fumbled and I went on another break. I think I went on a 2-week break, and I didn't stream those 2 weeks. But during that time, I was still walking. I was still adding miles to my Lord of the Rings challenge, but I wasn't adding miles to my 500-mile journey here on stream. And I remember coming back and just I need to at least get the 100-mile mark. So I believe at the end of January, we did hit it. But for me, it didn't mean anything. Yeah, it was a huge milestone. It was pretty much 20% of the journey done, and I didn't feel anything. So after completing that, I believe I went on another break, but I came back mid-February, I believe, and I was like, I need to stop taking these breaks because I need to start taking this streaming thing serious. I got people who pay for this and tune in, whether it's one person or nobody here. I still gotta do it. I set myself to do this journey and complete it on stream, and I wanted to complete it. But during February, I started working out more, but again, I started pushing myself way too hard. I just remember there were nights where I couldn't sleep, and I would just force myself to get on the treadmill and just work out, thinking that I was gonna accomplish something different in life, but I wasn't getting that. So I came back in February, and then I remember saying hey, I'm back, but I'm gonna take a trip to Florida. So I'm gonna be gone for another week. So I did that. I came back, but with the promise of that I was gonna come back better than ever. I get to Florida, and I'm driving. I'm like, man, why the fuck did I choose to move to this state? I started hating it. Two of the main purposes I went on this trip was, one, I was gonna see family that I haven't seen in half a decade, pretty much. And I was also gonna see my newest nephew from my friend who got married back last July. And since I never got a chance to meet him because I've been over here in Colorado, I figured this is the perfect time to finally meet the kid. So I went to see my grandma, and it was a interesting experience because my grandma no longer recognizes me. We still don't know what happened to her, but she doesn't really remember a lot of the things that happened in her past. And it kind of bummed me out because this is a person that I care about, and she doesn't remember me the same way I remember her. And it messed me up a bit. Then after that, I saw my grandmother. The next day, I went to see my closest friend, Manu, and to meet finally my newest nephew. And it was such a nice experience. We just were pretty much talking about life, where we've been, what we're doing, how we're doing. And then we went to get some lunch. And then at one point, my mom decides, hey, I want a picture of you, your best friend, and his kid. And then, look at him. Look at this kid. Look at this baby boy. Reason why I have this picture right here is because literally 5 seconds before this picture was taken, we were setting up for the picture, and me and my best friend look at each other, and I don't know what it was about this moment, but it messed me up in a good way. I just remember being filled with all these emotions, all these feelings, and I wanted to say something for the moment, and all I could say to my best friend was, damn, bro, we're fucking old. And he looks at me like, yeah, dude, I fucking love you, man. I'm like, I love you too, bro. And this moment right here messed me up for a couple days, if I'm being honest. And I didn't understand why. I remember right after the lunch, on the way to my grandmother's house, I was just like, man, why do I feel this way? What is with these feelings, these emotions I'm feeling now? I don't have any explanation for it. And I spent pretty much the rest of the trip just thinking about this moment because I couldn't pinpoint why it was affecting me so much. And then after a while, I finally figured it out. Pretty much all my life, I felt like Professor Calamitous. I felt like all my decisions I've done in my life really didn't, like, if I would have stuck to all the stuff that I said that I was going to work on, and I worked on myself as hard as I work any other job, I would be better off in life, probably be successful in some way, shape, or form. But in the end, no matter what I did in my life, no matter how successful I would have become or anything, every path I've chosen so far led me to this very moment right here. And it made me realize for the first time in long time that life was finally worth living. And I got this moment to thank for it. And you know, all the bad shit that I did in my life led to that moment, and I wouldn't change anything of it, because at the end of the day, I'm seeing my best friend start his family. It makes me very proud, and I got to be a part of that, you know. So I know that no matter what I do in life, whether I go left, I go right, whether I do good or I do wrong, I know that I set myself to have the life that I not only deserve, but a happy life. And that's why I started this journey, because right after this moment, once I figured that out, I really locked in. That's when I started streaming a lot more. I started working out, but I wasn't being too hard on myself. Started walking a lot more, especially on stream. And we've been killing it over here. Like, these past couple months just streaming has just been so fucking fun. Like, it's not like I wasn't having fun before, but ever since I went through this moment, it's just been probably, I finally feel like I'm being myself, and I'm doing the stuff that makes me happy, and I'm actually happy for it. For a couple reasons, I wanted to tell this story, because one, I wanted to put it out there, what this journey means to me, how personal it feels, because I've always been tough on myself when it comes to like my life. I'm not saying that my life is the hardest out of everybody in the world. I know other people struggle, but in this life, even if you struggle a bit, we need to find the strength within ourselves to like move forward. And that's what I've been doing ever since last year. Whenever I fall, picking myself up and moving forward, because I can't go back and change anything. So that's one of the reasons. Reason number two is because I wanted to do this message pretty much for myself, because I know in the back of my head, I always have the thought that I might fumble in the future. You know, life is unpredictable. Life will throw you a curveball every once in a while. And although I've been very motivated and keeping at it, I feel like I'm gonna come back to that time where I'm gonna take another long break from streaming, and I don't know how hard life is gonna hit me. It might reset all my progress back to zero, but I want to be able to come back to this moment and say that yes, we have fallen a lot, but I still managed to pick myself up and continue moving forward. So if I do fumble in the future, to myself, I want to say, you got this, bro. Just keep going. We've done it in the past. We've fallen, but we keep moving, you know. Third reason is because, like I mentioned, past couple of months of streaming has been very fucking fun. And a big reason because it's been fun is because of you guys. You guys have made my stream so amazing. And I'm not talking about the donations, the subs, the hype chains. I'm just talking about you guys just being in chat, being weird, being funny, making me laugh, doing the fucking sound alert shit that always startled me. One of my favorite streams is the one where I just get to chill with you, chat, and just have a good time. I love those that's the kind of streams that I want to carry on, is where I just get to interact with you guys and just have fun with you guys, because you guys make stream even better. And finally, the fourth reason I wanted to tell this story is because I know that I'm not the only one that struggles. Again, like, something that I struggle a lot with is just being the age that I am. I'm 31 years old. I have gray hair in my head, gray hair on my beard. I'm not getting any younger. And maybe other people seem to think that, hey, maybe streaming is not the thing that you should be pursuing. But hey, I'm still fucking doing it, and I'm having a lot of fun. And it's what makes me happy. So I just want to say that I struggle a lot, both mentally and physically. But if you are struggling, I just want to say that you got this. Like, whatever you do in life, just try to find your version of the 500-mile journey that I'm trying to accomplish in life. Because, again, I just wanted to do this journey to prove to myself that I'm not Professor Calamitous, and I can complete this journey. So yeah, whether it's trying to find your 500-mile journey by setting a fitness goal, working on a new skill, getting a promotion, finding your dream job, starting a family, starting streaming, anything you want to set yourself in life, just go ahead and do it. If you think that's gonna make you happy, just go for it. Cause for me, I always wanted to stream, but I never like found my footing. And I started this journey to see if I can find it, and it took a while, but I'm very comfortable where I'm at, streaming wise. I'm very happy with it. I don't know what the future holds, but fuck it, I'm having fun doing it. And if I get people to like join in, be inspired or something, just go ahead and do yourself, dude. Kamina from Gurren Live in one sentence. Don't believe in you. Don't believe in me that believes in you. Believe in the you that believes in yourself. And those words I carry in my heart, and that's what makes me like keep moving forward. So whatever you set yourself in life, go for it. Have fun and just live your life. Because honestly, we only go through it once, but that doesn't mean we can't have fun doing it. I'm happy as that boy right there. This kid, such a lovely fucking kid. If he's the reason I'm still standing today, then man, I'm grateful that I'm still here, you know? Can't wait to see what that kid does in life. Hopefully, whatever happens, if he struggles, I hope he knows that he has an uncle that struggled too and is willing to help him as much as I'm trying to help anybody that comes into this community. So, enough talking. Let's finally cross this 50% mark. Let's keep moving, dude. We got this. I got this, you got this, we all got this. And if in the future, whether you're watching today, whether you're tuned in since day one, or if in the future, once I'm done with this journey, or maybe I'm done streaming, you stumble upon this video, believe in yourself, man. Do whatever you want. Be the you that you want to see in the world. I guess. I don't know. Too much talking, too much feelings, too much shit going on through my head. So let's go ahead. Let's get stream officially started. I gotta take a minute to like turn everything on.